Hi, it's Kathy from Raven Vintage. Welcome back to 100 Days of Envelopes for Junk Journal Makers. I have day 69 here with the second video of decorating envelopes with Edith Holden artwork. And I think that, again, today is going to be just another simple decorating craft with me video. Nothing fancy with the envelope. Just wanted to definitely include Edith Holden in this envelope series, and I wanted to show you a few things I do with my Edith Holden book, just because I know everyone loves her beautiful artwork, but not everyone is comfortable or knowing what to do with the pages. And there's a bazillion things you can do, but it might feel intimidating to pull pages out of this beautiful book. And I'm here to let you know it's okay. You can do that, and I'm going to show you exactly the types of things that I use it for. So I've torn out a page, and the first thing I would probably do is save the page number. Just a rough cut, and I have a little jar here just so they don't get lost while I'm doing stuff. And then I wanted to show you that some of this stuff is obvious, like I might do a large cutout like this, and because the paper has this beautiful manila background, we don't need to worry about white space. Of course, I save the months, the titles, and then I might cut out a few of the smaller words from the text, from the text pages. And then I might cut out some of the little verses or poems that she has in the book. And then of course we do some fussy cutting. So I have some butterflies, bird, some eggs, and of course some flowers. Oops. More butterfly snow. Even though this one was ripped in the corner, you can still tuck it underneath something. So I would definitely still hang on to those, even though it's not a full, like, see how we can just do that? I would hang on to those. Any end cuts that have some pretty artwork on them, I might keep those for a while and then eventually discard them. But if I can find a use for those in a little cluster or something, that is a good thing to keep. And here's one thing that you might not think of. So after you're done cutting out your image that you want to keep, you'll end up with some blank space. Now the reason I cut a few of these is because I know I've done this in the past. And see how there's this really beautiful aging on the side of the page? Or even just the color alone, this manila color. These make a great background for, let me show you an idea. So if you cut a bunch of these manila type things, one day when you're bored or you're feeling uninspired, you might want to do something like this. Just take a bunch of your fabric scraps, there we go, and just make some little word placards like this. So it's just one simple piece of ribbon. Oh, Ruby sneezing. And I've collaged. See how the text is going 3 different directions? That's actually cut from a master board. But you can make little, use these to make little sentiment placard cards or whatever you want to call them. So I occasionally cut out, something like this. And then you maybe put some ribbon behind or lace behind that. And here, figure out your life, Kathy. There we go. You get the idea. But you could sit there and bulk make those till your heart's content. So these are not a bad thing to, I think they're worth hanging on to for a while at least. And then if you don't need to do a whole bunch of them, but some. Let me show you what I mean. So we've kept the page number. I'm going to check which side I like better. And I think in this case I would keep this bird. And then kind of look at the groupings. Like this right here could be a separate thing. This part here, a separate thing. This little purple flower could be separate. Like think of it that way as well. So for now, let's just cut the bottom off. Just for a moment, keep that handy. And I'm going to use my bigger scissors. And then of course, if you just do a quick rough cut, you can always go back and fine tune that. Just a rough cut like that. Now see this piece here? See how it has that really nice edging, like that aged edging? Can you see that? Some of the pages, it's more prominent on some pages on, well, actually this is a little darker here. And then once you ink those up, they're so pretty. So this might be worth keeping like for a long sentiment. Maybe chop it there. Something like that. That's kind of big, but I would probably get rid of that one. Yeah. So not a bad idea to hang on to those. So this is the one I wanted to use today, just because it kind of has these yellow and amber colors that I was working with on with the envelope I did yesterday. So yes, the attic papers I was using yesterday is called Marmalade Monday. So I've listed that below. And the attic papers are on sale right now for a while in my, as of this recording time, in my Etsy shop. A great collection to have on hand and use over and over and over again. Okay, so pretty. Get rid of that. So then again, look at both sides and see what you want to keep. I'm going to keep this little purple flower. So when you're going on vacation and you're missing your craft room, if you can, take a pair of scissors. If not, scissors are cheap enough to buy somewhere on while you're out and about. I don't know, can you take scissors on an airplane, or can you pack them in your suitcase? Have you tried? I don't know. I don't go anywhere, so I don't know. But even if you're, okay, let's forget about the whole flight thing. So if you're going on vacation, take a book with you and maybe a container, or even just Ziploc baggies or something, and just deconstruct your book. And then you are still doing something crafty. You're kind of scratching that itch a little bit. And then when you get home, you have all this stuff on the ready for your creations. It's also a great thing to do while you're watching and getting caught up on your YouTube videos with our favorite creators. Or if you're, I don't watch TV, but if you're watching, you know, the news or something. So I might even just do this. Cut that one off. Yeah, that's pretty. Let's keep that. Okay. Sorry, I was just waiting for Clip Cloppity Jane there to get out of here. Ruby needs her nails trimmed. We missed our April grooming because by the time I waited too long to book it in April, and she was booked up till May. So she's missed, so she's behind about 3 weeks with her, 4 weeks by the time we get there. Almost a month we'll be behind with her grooming, which includes getting her nails done. Painted Lady Butterfly. I don't know, I just feel like that might be something worth keeping. Yes, no? Maybe. Okay. And then you have all these left, so it might be worth a look just to see if any of these are worth cutting for a snip or a sentiment. Just like I said, looking at this this aged edge here, it's just a nice color. And then of course you can fix that up later. But I think they would be great to sit and do a mass make of little word. Get out your, what you call them? Oh, these also. See, these ones here, I might not necessarily like those words, or it might be not like a sentiment or something I would use, but that would make a nice back for a cluster. So, and if you use that cluster as a page tab, when you turn the page, you're just going to see some of this beautiful handwriting here, right? So, not terrible thing to hang on to. I'm gonna go stick it there. Okay, so let's do an envelope. I have all these pretty things to choose from now. Set those over here a little bit. Okay, so yes, this is the Marmalade Monday Attic Papers. This is the one we did yesterday. So I thought today we would just do a page wrap. Fixed. Okay, so I would like to just do a page wraps, or like a flap, fold. What do you call it? Fold out. There we go. That's what I wanted to do today. And then tomorrow when we decorate, we'll just cover that right up with the new piece of paper. So I don't need to decorate the flap at all, just the front and back. And I was going to use this one. Goes this way. It's going to be on the page like that. Exactly what I want to do. So I do want to overlap this just a little bit, just for a nice edge. Start with that. Just so you get a nice smooth edge on that side. And then you don't get things lifting up over time. Do it when I can. Then I think I'm going to use my tear ruler, or just a ruler. It's not necessarily a tear ruler, but I am going to tear with a ruler. Okay, get some glue down on this. I'm just wrapping it right around so I have another smooth edge. And very quick. And then I'm going to come back probably to about here. Let's just do another tear. Oh wow, that's kind of neat. And then I'm going to just trim these. Just easier to access the pocket that way. I don't know, I kind of like that ripped look. What do you think? Something different? Let's do that. Now it looks like, I was gonna say for a second there I thought I did it upside down, but no. I mean, it wouldn't look horrible the other way, but I think I like the pattern going up, like the flowers going up this way. Look how nice that looks when we ink up the edges. Isn't that beautiful? Love that. Really cute. I like that. A little bit rough with that, a little bendy. That's kind of cute. I like that. Okay, so what are we going to put on the inside? We just need something, a strip here on the inside. So yesterday, do I have any scraps left? Well, of course I have the piece I tore off, which could just go inside with a different direction. Which, let's just do that. Let's use up our scrap. Let's just do that. And I just tore that. Now it's too short. Okay, never mind. No, I'm gonna make it work because I'm going to make it work because I want to be mindful of using up my scraps. Sorry, I'm way off the screen here. There. Just putting this piece in and lining it up so it doesn't interfere with the fold. Good. And then we'll do this piece. Tuck that in underneath. Goes over top. Oh, clippity cloppity. Hello. Hi, Rubikins. What do you need, baby girl? Hmm? What you need? I hear you. What do you need, sweet pea? Let me see here. A little trimmy trim here. Oh, Ruby. Oh, she's got her, she just came and laid her chin on my leg. Laid her head on, right on my leg. You okay, babe? Hmm? Hello? Alright, so, you gonna let me finish my video, honey? Can you go lay down till mommy's done? Can you? Look out, Ruby. Oh, what am I doing? Ruby's got me all distracted here. That's not the book I want. There we go. Okay. Oh, that's pretty. So that will just simply be a flip out and a pocket. Just want to get that glued on nice and close where it still wraps over. Okay. There we go. And I'm not worried about any super strong glue here because I know that tomorrow we'll be covering up the back of the page with another background page, pretty paper. And we'll move on to a different color tomorrow. A different color scheme. Okay, that's in there. A little high maybe, that's okay. Oh, you gonna lay down, honey? Good girl. Good girl. Yeah, Ruby decided she's just gonna lay down here beside me in the craft room. Thank you for your patience. You're such a good girl. Okay. Cute. So let's maybe ink that little bit there. So yesterday we were talking a little bit about Edith Holden and her family. So I think I will do some, I got thinking about that. That's, you know, it's kind of an interesting topic. So I will do a little bit of research on Edith Holden, and we will have an Edith Holden video. I've added it to my list of ideas for future videos. Oops, I'm starting to drop stuff off the edge of the desk. Just going to move these over so I don't lose them. Okay. So let's decorate. So we have all these pretty butterflies and this. Oh, sweet. It'd be kind of nice to have something facing the other way. Oop, that goes this way. Just thinking out loud here until something that looks pretty. I like that. Do we like that? Could add, I really like the idea of adding this butterfly though to pick up the orange color. No, I think I like this. Okay, let's go with that. This is not straight, so I will get my trimmer out so that I can make some straight lines. So this is that little mini trimmer I picked up at Goodwill for $2.79. It looks neater, doesn't it? Oh, it is crooked. I'm not gonna care. I just decided. I'm not gonna care. So let's do some tiny corner rounding. So I hope out of this yesterday, today, and the next couple of days, I think we'll do 4 days of Edith Holden. I hope it encourages you to not be intimidated by cutting things up and using. I know some of you don't have an issue with it, but I do know some of you do, because I used to. And if I used to, that means you might. So this has a natural bend to, like, in this direction. That's why I'm putting it up in this corner. Preference would have been to have something facing in, but that's okay. We can live with that. And then we'll do that. So I think trying to keep the same margins all the way around. Let's start by gluing this down first and keep this margin and this margin relatively the same. We'll just eyeball it. You can go ahead and measure if you like. And here we go. Like it. Well, again, I think we'll just keep, again, the same margin here and here as here. That'll give it some balance, so that way we don't have to overthink, right? We'll just go with something that's visually pleasing to the eye. Whether you think about it or not, those things do make a difference. Okay, so if I do that, so I'm talking about this margin here and here. We're going to have the same space here and here. And I just barely overlapped. So we'll make it look a little more intentional. Yeah, that helps keep the guesswork out of it. Well, we could do the same margin here. We could do that. I think that's the best bet. So again, just kind of lining hit the edge of his wing up here. So we've got a bit of an overlap on this and that. Oh, I didn't ink or glue my antennae. Okay, so that's our outside. That's beautiful. Now, if you wanted to, we're in May, which I don't have a May word. You could add, oh, I'm sure I do have a May word. Hold on. There must be. Leave the page in, but I will just cut the word May out of here. Okay, so let's find some lace to back that up with. Or something. Could be also be paper. What might be nice is I have this piece that got wet yesterday from here. Let's start with that. So we could put that here so that picks up this pattern there, but then we can make it even more spectacular by adding some lace behind it. Yeah, okay, I'm just gonna take a break for a second because Ruby is needing something. Be right back. Okay, I got Ruby tucked in on the couch. Just needed a little lovin'. I think we'll stick with this kind of nature looking theme here. What can we do with this? Let's start by inking this up. And then we could perhaps just do something overlapping like that. So let's just cut a few pieces. Ooh, this stuff is messy. It's like burlappy kind of. Look at all the little frayed bits. Okay, so let's put this on first. We'll get that centered. Sure we will. There we go. Like that. Okay. And then I think we'll use this thinner edge, and we'll just put glue right on the edge. And then we'll attach our piece. Do top and bottom first. Top and bottom might be enough, but let me see if we're going to do the sides or not. Let's see what it looks like. That. And then I'm just doing this side because it's a little thinner. Well, that was not quite long enough, Kathy. You used one of the short ones, silly girl. Try again. There we go. Let's hold that. I think I did the same thing there. I used one of the short ones. I did. That's exactly what I did. Okay, do I still want... Yeah, I think I do. I think I do. Why not? We're all in, right? I was going to let that dry for a second before I trim that off. But that will be super cute. We'll just put that right there. So let's let that dry. So I'm filming this one while the part 1 is uploading to YouTube. So I haven't seen your comments yet for that. So I'm just going to say a general hello to all of my friends out there. All this great space here, so you could add like a writing space there. You could cover that up. And let's do that actually. So I still have this piece working on the travel bug kit. We just need to make this a little bit smaller than the 5x7 so it fits in here behind. It's just a guess. Yeah, I like that. I was talking to my daughter this morning and I hadn't even checked the weather yet, but she said, good thing you got your yard stuff done yesterday, Mom, because we're getting a big thunderstorm today, apparently. It is very gray out. I wouldn't be surprised. But yes, last night or yesterday afternoon and evening, I burnt a bunch of my brush and I have a lot of trees in the back. I have like a long corridor. Oh, I just put that in upside down. It's okay. See? Okay. See, talking, crafting and talking, that's what happens. I'm amazed sometimes that I'm even here on YouTube, because how do you ever concentrate when you're talking? Anyways, I was, prior to that, like, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks ago even, I did a walkthrough and picked up all the deadfall from the trees. So I'd already done that. Well, then we had those really high winds there a few days ago, so I had to go through again. It's not too bad. It's not like there isn't a lot, but I mean, at my age, it's not really something I would say I enjoy doing. You know what I mean? I also have a bum knee, and traipsing through on uneven property is just not great. Do we like this? I want something a little more simple. Again, facing the wrong way. What's this, just too big? Oh, there's that little bird. I kind of want to do the bird. He can come in here. Don't want him. He can just be like right there, and he will be covered up. So let's start with him. But yes, I got all the little tiny... When I first moved in here a couple years ago, my sister and brother-in-law have a tree cutting business, and I had them come in. Got the family rate. Have them come in and just clean out all the deadfall and stuff, like all this impending falling stuff. They did a cleanup, and it was worth every penny, because otherwise I would never be able to get that grass cut back there because the branches are all on the ground. So I just thought, well, I better get that cleaned up, and I'm going to call the fella or text the guy that cuts my grass back there. And he's not cutting grass this year. So I need to find a new guy or gal, one or the other. That's cute. There's a little birdie there. I still have some more eggs. Might as well use them up because it's spring. Because of the size, I either need to cut from the bottom, so I could do that so the bird's right at the bottom, and keep all of this, or I could do it like this. I think I'll do it like that so I have more room to put something down here, and I'll just trim off here. So let's start with that. We're just going to pretend the branch ended right there. All right, let's just get a little closer. So yesterday and today we're doing these, the gold, the yellow, the orange, a little bit of navy blue. So we will switch tomorrow to the pink and blues. More shabby chic looking, I guess. Definitely loving the vintage vibe here though. This vintage aesthetic, as the young folk would say. It's not like aesthetic is a new word, it's just they use it more than we do. Okay. All right. And then the eggs, I think we'll fussy cut them a little bit. Behind, just like that on the corner. I think that's cute, just like that. So we'll start with this one in the back. Before I press that down, let's make sure I got that where I want it. That looks good. That's cute like that. And we can add a butterfly. He's just kind of blending in. Were there any more butterflies right at the moment? No, I guess it was just this yellow one, but I think that he's just kind of blending in. Oh, we could put him down here though. Oh, that's cute. Let's put him down here. I have those. I have these. I never think to get them out. I don't know if it makes much difference. Oh, there's clearly some sort of other ink on there still. Black, maybe? They're really rough. But yes, I do have those. Something else I forget that I have. They're right there on my desk. I don't know why I forget. Okay, so let's put you kind of facing inward. Oh, this is cute. Very cute. I like that. I say cute a lot, don't I? It's pretty. It's very pretty. Very pretty. Okay, and then I feel like we could do something with one of our little words that we cut out, which I've messed up all over the place now. I mean, there's room to do something there. It says fresh flowers. None of that looks like fresh flowers, but that's okay. It's the concept, right? So just kind of giving this a little bit more of a roundy round look. Roundy round, word of the day. And then we will put some sort of lace behind it. So again, this is one of the reasons that I keep this little scrappy jar with just like the smallest little bits. Because you never know. So let's just do a little snip and a tear. Yeah, so like that. Okay. So I hope this, I hope you get out your little scraps, and I hope you start keeping a cup with your little teeny tiny end cut pieces like this. And then one day get out your fabric scraps and your deconstructed book and make yourself a bunch of these little things ahead of time. Like that wild one I showed you earlier. That'd be a great live to do. We could do that and hang out, right? There we go. Trying to make that look even. And then we can put that right there. That's cute. So we'll put a little bit of glue on the burlap ribbon as well as the paper. You go right there. Let's hold that for a second. I like it. As for a name, this is just Edith Holden Part 2. We're just doing a craft with me, nothing fancy with the, but we are using up our envelopes, and we have a nice pocket tuck here now. We decorated the inside. We created a writing space behind it, upside down. But yes, this is just day 69. And it's Edith Holden Part 2. Well, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. We're going to work with some of the pinks and blues in the attic kit. And I'm going to search my Edith Holden book for some pink and blue flowers. And we'll do some more decorating. We'll see you then. Take care. Bye.